Hello, everyone, and welcome to another horrific review. Yes, it's late. I'm just home. I'm trying to get this done because I'm not going to have a chance tomorrow because 2 streams in a row, and yeah, the rest of the week's going to be pretty busy. So let's do it. Iron Maiden, Run for Your Lives tour obviously happened today. I posted a couple of pictures on Facebook when I was there. My own personal profile. Didn't do anything on the channel, but yeah, been looking forward to this. This is the 50th anniversary of the formation of the band, and holy crap, they're still going strong. I would argue that this is better. It was a better gig than the Future Past tour, one that I saw 2 years ago now in the O2. The guys are really going for it. They're not holding back, and like shows the sound and everything. Fantastic. So I suppose talk about the venue first of all. So this is held in London Stadium. So if you're familiar with the band, Steve Harris is a massive West Ham United fan, and that's where the grounds are. I have no interest in football, but I think it was a nice. I think they understand that they're coming near the end of their time. I think the difference between Iron Maiden and a lot of other bands is when they can't do it anymore, they're just going to stop. I don't think they're going to be like doing this in their 80s, like their mid 60s, late 60s now. And yes, there's going to be another tour without a doubt, even though it happens to be the farewell tour. But they've actually managed to like step up the game. I can't describe these blokes are, and even like their stamina, their precision. They put the rest of us to shame. Just put it like that. And when you see the likes of flipping Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath, who are knackered, and Kiss and bands like that, you're just like, what are you doing? And who else is flipping Guns N' Roses? Look at the state of them out on stage. You know what I mean? They're nothing. Haven't seen Metallica in years. Don't care about them, but don't imagine they're much better. But you know what I mean? You see other bands and they look tired, they look worn out. Their lifestyles have caught up with them. But for some reason, the guys, and I think their ethos, they've always shunned the need for mainstream media acceptance and fame, and they haven't really bothered. And in their own ways, every one of them, they're a nerd, and they all play sports. So, Bruce Dickinson, as you know, as well as other business projects, he's a fencer. He just recently took part in the European Championships, the Grand Masters. He came 13th or something, but still, he still competed. Steve Harris, massive football fan. He was going to go pro until he became a bassist. He actually has a team, Iron Maiden football team, if you aren't familiar, and they go and play friendlies every gig they turn up to. So they're actively playing sports. Adrian Smith's into fishing in a big way, so that's what he's off doing that, and I think Dave and Yannick play tennis. Nico, when he's in the band's a massive drum nerd, knows his whole thing, drums and doing that, and I think he's the only one that really had a problem with alcoholism or, admitted it and got treatment and just went sober. So lived that lifestyle. So every one of them is aware. Simon, I don't know much about him. The drummer they've got I know he's in British Land, Steve's other band. I don't really know that much about him, but God, he's massive, But the point I'm trying to make is these guys are professional. They never bothered to, like, they're normal blokes, went out in the piss and stuff, but they never fell into that trap of shoving stuff up their nose and freaking being whacked off their heads all the time. When it came to doing the job, they're on the job, and it's shown like today in their longevity. You compare them to other bands of the same age and even younger bands, and they're blowing them out of the water. Absolutely fantastic. I liked London Stadium as a venue compared to the O2, it's a nicer area to go into for a start. There's a Westfield shopping centre. There's like loads of eateries and stuff. And the only problem today is it's hot as balls. I mean, bacon. And the worst thing is, I travel down the train, then you have to jump in the tube, and any tube journey in London is hell. But a tube journey on a sunny day, and everyone's crammed in, you are just you're destroyed. So needless to say, I just want to get in the venue. Plenty of time. I arrived there in plenty of time, so that was cool. I left. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon or something, so I had loads of time to get in. That was cool. So I wasn't stressing, and I wasn't caught up in the like Saturday rush hour traffic, so that was cool. I didn't stop. It was too hot. I just wanted to get under shade, and I couldn't see any in the. All I saw was massive queues everywhere, and yeah, my head was pounding. So I just went straight into the stadium. £4 a bottle of water. Holy crap! Pretty much, like the O2 was like that. I think they're slightly better when they're go on our meal deal thing. Got some chicken and chips and a bottle of water. But yeah, I just ripped it off. The annoying thing is they pour it into a cup, and there's a spit in the bottle before they throw it out, and I realize because it's their policy is that you can't fill up the bottles and throw them because it's a football stadium, so obviously pour it in the plastic cups. But I'm just seeing that little dribble at the bottom, like, get me. So that was interesting. First two, just seeing if there's anybody online. Something might pop on. No, definitely streaming, aren't they? Yeah, definitely streaming. That's okay. That's right. You can watch this after the fact. I know it's late here, but I know different parts and different days, but it's or different times of the day. But it's a Saturday as well, so I appreciate what he's about. But yeah, good gig. I like the venue. Wasn't thrilled in the prices, but still, it's what you expect these sort of places. The support acts had the Raven Age on again. Now, I think somebody's connected the Iron Maiden in the Raven Age. That's why they keep getting on. But they are bland. Let's have a look at them, actually. The Raven Age. No. About Matt James, George Harris, Tommy Gentry, Matt Cox, Jai. I think somebody's nephew or something, and connected the Iron Maiden. That's what they get on. But they are honestly, I'm not thrilled by them. They just generic, bland. I haven't even bothered looking them up. And the guy that sings, he's a Londoner. I think he's English, but he puts on that generic rock star with his accent. A generic sort of LA. You can't really quite tell what it is. Hey, people, and it's shit. And it's just so fake. And I couldn't tell you one of their songs. So that was them. But it's, also it's middle of the day. Nobody's in the mood. We're all just getting under the shade and hoofing water down. Everyone's like, the venue isn't full. Like, there's still quite a few people, but people are just sitting down. Like, that's how, at that sort of time, people are just sitting down and stuff and just, not in the mood. I think there was about 10 the Raven Age fans, at the front. That was it. Next band up was, they were only playing like 40 minutes, not even an hour sets, was Hailstorm. Sort of seeing them about, once again, not super familiar. They're just another generic band, that's been around. One thing that did annoy me was the lead singer, Lizzie Hill, isn't it? She's up, do you know I'm a girl? Who the fuck's saying that in 2025? Fucking... and I think it's a dumb Yankistani thing. Fucking Yanks. It's because the whore out of fucking Cradle of Filth, she does it too. Pisses me off. The keyboard is a girl and Mel. And you're like, fuck off. That's nothing new. In fact, I would say the market in that respect, it was a novelty. But that's not the case anymore, and there's loads, and there's better ones than hers. So it's just weird to keep playing that same card. It's like, have a fucking personality. This is the problem with a lot of bands, is that they don't have personalities. They play their thing, they play the metal sort of. That's why I don't go. I'm not really interested in the metal scene anymore. I'll always be a Iron Maiden fan. I like the music, but I can't be arsed with the sort of whiny, which has become a trope. Ever since new metal came in, this has been a trope in metal of, I'm so hard done by, the world, and you're just like, fuck off. Metal's supposed to be like power and like, good, fuck you, yeah, the world's shit, but we're not going to let it beat us and get on with it. And this sort of generation, they're not even young generation now, they're old hat. The new generation of folks, sort of reveal Electric Cowboy, Baby Metal, Bring Me the Horizon, all them sort of guys, they bring a bit of fun now. So the next generation down from the new metal era, they have a sense of fun about them, and they don't take themselves too seriously. And that's reinvigorating the franchise as far as I'm concerned. So it's good to see that those sort of bands are about, and there's more of them. And I mean, they're just the Titans, you know what I mean? But they're coming to their end of their time, which is off, they're not going to be doing this in their 80s. Although tonight, I said that last time, didn't I? When I went to the Future Passport, it's like, nah, they haven't got this in them anymore. And then they're friggin' must be getting the bionics sorted out. I know Bruce Dickinson had a hip replacement, so they're all like getting themselves rebuilt. So anything's possible. Oh yeah, they did a wee thing. They didn't do this last time. I know it's a scam, trying to sign you up for merch, but that's a nice little memento. They were handing them out when we come in. They didn't do that in the O2, which was annoying. I think it's because of the 50th anniversary, so that's going to end up back here, even though it didn't win anything. Nice little touch as a gap. I didn't go near the merchandise store because queues and heat. I didn't queue for anything. I'm just like, sorry, I got a bit of food, but that was it because it was under the shade. But I just wanted to sit down and get in the heat because my head was boiling with a tube journey. But yeah, they didn't mess about. Basically, the problem with the venue was at 10:30, 20:30, that's it. They had to close and be out. And apparently there's like massive fines and stuff that happened. So there wasn't as much banter between songs as normally you get because of the venue. And even said that at the start, right, sorry, we'll have to rattle through these because we'll have to be out. You have to be out the doors at 10:30, no messing about. So that was fair enough. But going through, of course, Doctor, like it's the intro, great. You just know what's happening. Start off with the Ides of March. Now, their stage setup is all electronic this time. So there's no models or like built sets. What they've done is purely digital. Once again, these are guys in their mid-60s. And they've taken, they've embraced the idea of technology. And they've incorporated it. And when I see other bands using backdrops and stuff and backing tracks and that, and yeah, once again, the effort's not there. Just play sort of a thing in the background, but this is a fully interactive board, and it features the songs, and also a clever thing they did as well with some of the songs is it filtered the cameras. So you got the stage cameras that zone in on the members, they filter that to go with the particularly Rhyme of the Age of Mariner, Number of the Beast, and Hallowed Be Thy Name, songs like that. The filter to match the video or the digital screen playing, so the band, is part of it, so it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. And that was it. Once again, that's attention to detail, and I don't see other bands bringing that level. Possibly Rammstein, but that's it. Maybe Alice Cooper back in the day, but not now. Everyone thinks you just put a backing tape up and play, especially bands that rely on sort of digital mixes and stuff as well as metal. modern. That they almost like put a mixtape up in the back, and they're not really thinking about it as a stage show. That's not the Iron Maiden way, and particularly with Hallowed Be Thy Name, that's amazing. They actually make it fully interactive, and they do it with Fear of the Dark as well. So it's not a case of it's just playing in the background. The position, like Bruce positions himself, and this in storytelling mode. So you're getting a full experience. So it's not just stuff whacked up there for the sake of it. And yeah, only those guys. It's just because it's digital doesn't mean they haven't put the effort in. I think that's the point I'm trying to make, and I really appreciate that. And it's just an idea of like generations, bringing that old school work ethic to the modern era, which is sadly lacking today in the world of digital creations and AI. I mean, there is a laziness, but I think we could learn something here of bringing that work ethic, even though it's a digital platform or even though it's digital tools. Bring that idea that you're trying to make the best product possible and give the best experience to people. Yeah, so the set list is basically from Iron Maiden to Fear of the Dark, playing the first sort of half of their career, basically before Bruce left the first time. I think that's what they're. So it's because obviously Bruce Dickinson left the band and Adrian Smith left the band. Adrian Smith left the band after, was it Somewhere in Time? Yannick came in at Seventh Son, yep. And Bruce left after Fear of the Dark, 93. And then obviously they all rejoined again for oh my god, not the Wicker Man's the first song. I'm an idiot. Anyway, they came back and reinvigorated anyway. I'm sorry, man. I'm tired. It's nearly 2 a.m. here. But yeah, I had the Ides of March as the intro. And I was just giving us a taste of what they expect with it. Murders in the Rue Morgue, Rothschild Killers, Phantom of the Opera. I like what they did with Phantom of the Opera. And this is where the band's sense of humor, and playing about with the digital thing and making it interactive. I think that's where we got the first hint of this isn't just stuff playing in the background, was Phantom of the Opera. Cool. Number of the Beast. Another thing it did as well is it took some of the footage from the music video, but they mixed it with the new digital stuff, which annoys me when I see other bands just play their music video in the background. They actually, so once again, yeah, you're getting a nod and a wink to their old music videos, but then they're bringing in this new platform, and it's great. Okay, Steve, mate, how are you? Still go. The put if it's in your area, because obviously they are coming to the States. They do tickets last minute. There's some tickets open up. There's always a chance. This is the time to do it. There's maybe one or two gigs left. There's one or two tours left, and one of them's going to be a farewell tour. If you haven't seen Iron Maiden live, this is the time to do it. Seriously, if you get a chance, get into it. And especially now, they are on fire right now. And I don't know how much of it. Simon Dawson on the drums as well is amazing. And the power, I actually felt like I was getting punched in the gut because of the power. The power wasn't there in the Future Past tour. Now, I know, not going to say I go with Nico McBrain. The man had a bloody stroke and still went on a tour. And even when they were talking, like Simon Dawson was already prepped in case Nico had to go to hospital, because there were some nights apparently he was coming off that stage and he was wobbling. Like they thought they were going to have to take him to hospital and some of the things. So that wasn't good, you know what I mean? No, doesn't matter how much you love your job, nothing's worth putting yourself in the grave for. So Simon Dawson's already primed up, but he wasn't trying to be Nico McBrain 2.0. I would say he's closer to Clive Burr in his style. Stripped down drum kit, really hammering it, and I think that let them pick up the tempo. I think Nico McBrain, I think they've kept it quiet, but I think Nico McBrain's been on the, I think a stroke was like the, the wake up call to stop, but I think he's been in the downward turn for a while. The guy's in the 70s now. But I think health wise, he's been deteriorating. Like, even from Legacy of the Beast, you kind of see, and Senjutsu Tour, or not Senjutsu. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Was it Senjutsu its own tour? Or no, they didn't brought in for Future Past. I know they were doing a couple of tracks off Senjutsu. Was it when they did the second half? Remember they had to stop the Legacy of the Beast tour, and then they had to re-pick it up again after the pandemic. Yeah, you could see, and people were noticing as well, the energy wasn't there. And it goes to show they were trying to look after their mate. And that's what I mean about them not being, another band would have just kicked them out and, stuff. It's the same way when Adrian and Bruce joined, they could have kicked Yannick Gers out, but they didn't because they wanted to keep the team together. And they went from strength to strength. And you don't see that today. You don't see that work ethic. So yeah, they were trying to keep Nico in, and obviously they were slowing everything down because he was struggling. And yeah, I think the stroke was just that, to give him the chance to bow out gracefully, And he'd always said they'd tell him, but they were never going to tell him. I mean, they were going to try and keep the lineup together. These guys have been together for 40 plus years, and there's been loads of lineup changes at the start. But yeah, this has been a consistent band for longer than they've been, than they've not been. So yeah, but Simon Dawson on the drums, you have no problems there. He is absolutely smashing it, and the fact that he has a relationship with Steve Harris as well, and I need to look him do some tracks up. I haven't had a chance. I wanted to go to the gig, but it's probably sold out. The Coaching Horses. I didn't go to the Coaching Horses either, but I'm thinking of going there. There's a tribute band on in August. I was just too hot, and I don't drink anymore, so going to a bar is a bit silly anyway, and it's going to be packed. But I do want to go there. But I missed that gig because you had to be like right on the ball with the tickets, and didn't get a chance. But anyway, back to the set list. Yep, Phantom of the Opera, Number of the Beast, Clairvoyant. So I like the way they jump. They're not just rattling through the albums in order. So then they jump to the Clairvoyant, Parslave. Oh god, that was brilliant. Really powerful the way they played it. And of course, I think a showstopper's Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Like that, with the graphics and so forth. Now, I purposely haven't watched any footage because I think it spoiled it for myself with the Future Past tour. I looked at some of the footage and got the set list and stuff. I purposely stayed away this time. And also there was a caveat, basically put your phones in your pocket. So yeah, I shared a couple of photographs and bits and pieces, but generally I just kept my phone in my pocket and enjoyed the experience. And honestly, I think most people, because you could actually see the phones, like the handful of phones dotted throughout. There's hardly any phones on. Most times in a gig, when it goes dark, you see all the phones lit up. I mean, there's hardly any. People have got the message of just set that thing to the side for a couple of hours and enjoy the experience. And I really think that helped. Like, it's not me being an old fuddy-duddy. I love technology. I'm on this. I'm not exactly shy of social media or technology. But yeah, just setting that thing, putting it in your pocket and forgetting about it and just enjoying being there was worth it. Run the Hills, there's another fun, pop up. Then they jumped to Seventh Son of Seventh Son. Then they went to the Trooper. Hallowed by Nine Name. I think that was, obviously I'll not spoil it, but with the stage setup and Bruce got interactive with the screen, and there was a bit of trickery and stuff. It's a bit like the Future Past tour when he did they did the gimmick with the laser gun. It was almost it was the same sort of thing, but it was in the next level. And yeah, that's where this gig's going. Is worth going for Hallowed by Thy Name, just for the interaction. This is where they really show you how to take digital technology, interact with a live performance, and make an experience. Other bands should take note. Oh, yeah, mate, you have to honestly, you have to make an effort to do it, because there's only like there's 1 or 2 gigs left, 1 or 2 tours, if everyone stays in good health. Then we had Iron Maiden, of course. A thing that did is this time there's no model of Eddie. It's on the screen, but to be honest, it worked. It would have been silly to have an inflatable Eddie when all this stuff's been set up. So the way they did it worked. Now Eddie's been on. There's two appearances of Eddie, on the stage. So we're not missing out completely. So it's not like they've completely binned the idea of a physical 3D Eddie, but on the screen they did a really good job. And honestly, it's especially just around about seven suns as well. The sun's gone down. It's got dark. I'm really starting to get it. Yeah, definitely by the time Iron Maiden comes on, it's dark. You get the full experience of it, which is brilliant. I know there's been a bit of chatter. Obviously, they'll have the interlude, and then for the encore, they brought on Aces High. Yeah, I'm in agreement with a lot of people. That's not really an encore song. That's an opener. Why didn't you bring your daughter to the slaughter? That would have been great. Because it did nothing from the No Prayer for the Dying album. Unless I know it's a funny album, but Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter, they haven't done that in years. That would have been a great one to bring on. But we'll never be, what I mean? How can you... There'll never be the perfect playlist. That's the way I look at it. I'm not going to go me. Personally, I would have preferred Aces High to be swapped with Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter, and then that would have brought the No Prayer for the Dying album in. But still, the way they did it with the interaction, the interactive board, etc., I appreciated it. Fear of the Dark was great as well, and brings back to the costumes and the lamp. But and even the way they did the interactive board was great. Once again, they're interacting with this board, and the digital setup. It's not just playing in the background as a fluff piece. They're making it part of the show. Then we'll have Wasted Years. That was the finale, and yeah, it was a good song, good high beat song to finish off on. And then, of course, Monty Python always lived in the always looking the bright side of life, as we're all out the door, because all we're thinking is gotta get to the tube, gotta get the hell out of London, because nobody wants to be stuck in London longer than you have to. It's a horrible city. After all, like running, everyone's like going crazy. I'll tell you one thing as well, even leaving the gig, it was more controlled. So they had like a traffic light system. They got people moving up, stopped, they brought you around back to the tube station, and it wasn't as packed. Where when we did when I was at the O2, basically everyone just went and just piled on. It was horrible. Now, tube journey wasn't great, but at least got back on Waterloo, and then I jumped on the train to get back home. It's nice getting into an air-conditioned train. There's a bit of a delay because somebody's messing about in the track, but got to sit in an air-conditioned train for a bit before it took off, and it was just like, oh, God, yes. So there you go. There's my review. Don't want to give away spoilers, but this is... They've improved. They've actually taken it up a notch in the only way Iron Maiden can. And you're not going to be if you go to this, you're not going to be disappointed. And honestly, listen to just put the phone in the pocket. Yeah, the odd sneaky snap here or there, certain bits is fair enough, but don't be sitting watching this gig in your phone through the lens. Just put it away and enjoy it. And yeah, you have a good time. I'll get to do these, actually. That's a handy thing about having the channel as well. At least I can get on and talk. Another weird thing is, just where I live, there's no Iron Maiden fans. You know what I mean? It's all there's no weirdos, there's no rock bars or anything around here. I'm out in the sticks, and it's funny. You go in wearing all this gear and you stick out like a sore thumb, and then you get to a certain point, and then you see your tribe, you see your people, and all just coming in, and it's a good feeling. It's nice to know, you know, that's the thing about Iron Man as well. I suppose it's the football fan thing, you know, Steve being a football fan. I think they've brought that into the band from the day one, because everyone chants and sings and gets on, and it is like going to a sports match and supporting your team as opposed to a gig. And I think that's the unique atmosphere that maybe other bands don't get of what they're trying to do, or what they've not trying to do, they've achieved. You know what I mean? There's no concert like an Iron Maiden concert anywhere, and those that get it do. You know what I mean? You look at any UK, European gigs, you look at the South American gigs. Don't think I think the American ones, the North American ones, are where they have the problems with just people smoking dope and stuff, because that's just the way they are. Never the same. It's never the same energy there, you know, just because that's what it is. Never any of the issues. You notice whenever there's a rant or somebody kicking off, it's always in the North American gigs. It's never anywhere else, because I think everyone else has that mentality of, we're going to support our team. We're not going to see rock stars. We're going to support our lads. You know, never met anyone. They don't know who I am. But it's like going to see old friends. It's just that weird mentality. And I think that's what makes it a unique experience. And I think that's why people are getting bored. Like, here's another thing. I just saw somebody, or like when I was scrolling my phone on the train back, it was only 50, 60-year-olds go and watch it. That's bollocks. You have teenagers, you have kids, you have 20-somethings, you have 30-somethings, you have old farts like me. There's older farts as well. You have a complete mixed bag of people at these gigs, and you don't do that unless you've got something special. You don't fill stadiums. Like, it's a lot to go to a concert. You know, it's expensive, especially today's current financial climate, which is shit. Having disposable income, you know what I mean? You have to really plan what you're going to do. So for people to spend a ticket, travel, buy stuff there, you know what I mean? It's not a small ask. So the fact that they fill stadiums consistently at this point without ripping the arse side of things, has that dopey concert, Ozzy Osbourne concert, happened yet in Birmingham? No, because they're even frigging, even that's got drama. They're bringing people on, kicking them off, bringing them on, doing silly shite. God, he really went to the dogs, honestly. Yeah, but they're charging 400 quid a ticket or something stupid like that, you know, and just a complete vanity project. Where these guys, like, you know, you pay a normal price, and yeah, stadiums are full. So that's proof of the pudding, isn't it? Don't need to say anymore. But there you go. Let me know if you're going to a gig in the comments, if you plan to go or if you've been, and do you agree with what I say about just changing like one? I would have liked one song change. That's it. Everything else, bang on, and yeah, you don't have to worry about Simon Dawson as a drummer. He's fantastic, and the blokes, they still have it. So there you go. Thanks everyone for tuning in. And I'm on my Cameron tomorrow for the Talk Spot, and then I'm on my Flea later on for Biggie Pop Phantom Part 2. So there you go. See you then. Until next time, keep updated with the channel, do technical things, and remember to keep it creepy, keep it horrific.